This podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors: your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Fix Auto, Corky's Pest Control, and Lolita's Family of Restaurants.
Hey there, sports fans.
What's up, guys?
Christian Pedersen, Aaron Burgeon, Tommy Morris, S. No Moss, and we'll get to my choice in clothing in just a moment. Aaron, we're here to talk about the playoffs.
Yes.
We're here to talk about the second round of the playoffs.
Yes.
So give me one word to summarize the first round of this division.
Can I give you 3 letters?
Is it? Yes, I'm not going to debate the semantics here.
WTH.
Stands for what the heck? What the heck? Yeah, so here's the here's how the dust settled. We got 4 great games to talk about. Let's get to the very first one. We got Brawley, Pacific Ridge. Aaron.
Brawley.
Okay, well that's real simple. I'm going to agree with you in a little more detail that this is an impressive team. Like coming off of last year, making it to the finals, you sometimes see a little bit of a fall off because it was all on one kid, or it was one class, or a kid transfers, or an injury. Brawley hasn't missed a beat. This team just keeps on winning, keeps on looking good. They keep on putting up big numbers, and whether or not it actually exists, it's fun to talk about that they have that massive home court advantage of the drive out there. So I will agree. I will pick Brawley to keep on rolling. Tommy, how about you?
I really want to take Pack Ridge here. I really do. Can't do it though. Got to go with Brawley.
All right, on to our next game, who will play the winner of Brawley Pacific Ridge. We got Palo Verde Valley Southwest. Aaron?
2 teams that we really don't have much intel on. I picked Calipatria to win that Southwest game, and we can see how that turned out with that nice looking board behind us. And Palo Verde Valley got a win over O'Farrell. To O'Farrell's credit, being in their first year in Division 4, they had a lot of adversity they had to deal with this year. They went out to Palo Verde Valley, played them pretty close for the first half and the third quarter, but really just got away from them in the second half. So I'm gonna have to pick Southwest in this one. I don't have a lot of intel on them. And honestly, I don't have a lot of intel on Palo Verde Valley. It's not like I drive all the way out to Blythe to go watch basketball. So
You drive a lot of places, but not quite that far.
my wife would not allow me to.
The wife says no to Blythe. Okay, so for me, this one is real simple. You look at the strength of schedule. Southwest has more wins against common opponents than Palo Verde Valley. I see Southwest taking this one.
Good.
Tommy, how about you?
I'm calling for the upset, if you call it that. I mean, it's the 4-5 game, but I'm going to go with Palo Verde over Southwest.
Okay, on to the other side of the bracket, and time to explain why there is a green H on my chest right now.
And why we use WTH to describe this bracket.
What the Hilltop? What in the Hilltop happened? Justin Wilson makes a buzzer beater to get Hilltop over Maranatha Christian. That's why I am sporting this lovely jacket, courtesy of the Hilltop girls lacrosse team and former Hilltop basketball manager Casey Simons. Thank you very much for this.
Nice.
The question is, can they carry the momentum? They're taking on a Calexico team that handily beat El Cap. Hilltop now has to go out to Calexico. Who takes this one?
I think this is where the magic runs out, not because they're not talented enough to win this game. I think Hilltop has proven, me wrong time and time again. This is actually the second year where they've had a big upset. Actually, 2 years ago they had a huge upset in the first round as well. I think they might have been a 14 or 15th seed and, got the upset. So I think that the drive, the commute, the trek, whatever you want to call it, out to the Imperial County areas to play these teams, it takes a lot out of our boys in San Diego County. And I think this Calexico team, they've had some decent wins. They're one of the better teams in Imperial County. So I'm going to go with Calexico, but don't be surprised if I'm wrong. And I know that my friend here to my right has a much different take considering his sportswear today.
I mean, I just can't pick against them. It's the same as like Kearney and Point Loma. There's certain teams that just do me right, and Hilltop's I'm gonna live by the 3, die by the 3, live by the Lancer, die by the Lancer. I'm gonna pick Hilltop to win this one. Tommy, break the tie for us.
Hilltop making me look stupid in their first game. I apologize. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. Give me Hilltop.
Okay, so for this last one, we're going to skip on the game picks because it's going to be happening by the time you guys are watching this. This one is an early game compared to the rest of these brackets being played. Escondido Adventist Olympian. Aaron, just give me some thoughts on this game. Let the people know what's going down.
Well, what's going down is you've got a really talented Olympian team facing a very consistent Escondido Adventist program over the last couple years. They've quietly won their league this year. They were well over 500 last year. Bill Davis and crew, has built a nice little program, and he's built it around his sons, namely a sophomore son, Ethan Davis, who we talked about last week, 6'4.5", 6'5", bigger body kid who can play on the inside and on the outside, and has done it for a long time. I've watched Ethan, since he was a kid playing with Coastal Elite basketball, and he's been, he's a very talented kid. Olympian, they bring a freshman, Gio Martinez, who's had a really strong year. Isaiah Williams, one of the more underrated juniors in the class, and a good collection of players. And they've really bought into what Marty Ellis is teaching over there. Pressure defense, full court man-to-man, all those concepts that won Marty Ellis a championship when he was at El Cajon Valley a couple of years ago. They arrived ahead of schedule, so it's exciting to see this team kind of blossom. And I really think that with the way the bracket has broken down with Maranatha, falling out, they've got a clear path to the championship game. And if Brawley can get through their side of the bracket, that's going to be a very special game.
Well, this one is going to be the biggest fight of the whole bracket. This is 2 evenly matched teams. You listed off basically 2 or 3 players from each side there that are going to match up directly on one another, and this one will be really great. I feel like you're leaning a little toward Olympian. I will lean toward Olympian. Like we said, this game, if you're watching this right as soon as we drop it, it won't have happened yet, but this one happening a day ahead of the rest of the bracket. So, we will tweet out results with this, and we'll give you some analysis and reaction post-game to it after it's all happened. So that will do it for the Division 4 bracket. Tweet at us. Let us know if you think we're going to get them all right, get them all wrong. If you accidentally watch this for the first time and you don't want us to ever talk again because you think we're all stupid, tweet at us also. If you're a student section, tweet something ridiculous. Aaron, a chance we might see you at one of these? Maybe a little bit? Yeah. You can drive out to Brawley?
I was actually going to try to make it out to Olympian today.
Okay.
My son actually has a really close friend who plays for Olympian. JD Sing Song, freshman over at Olympian, who was promoted to the varsity mid-season. We're pulling for you.
There you go. Got a little bit of an inside track there. And folks, we'll see you next time when there's 4 less teams to talk about. So we're getting to the very end of the season here. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you at a game.
Holla.